Alrighty, let's get cracking. So, what I'm going to do is, right now I'm just going to set up a new scene. We'll go through adding objects, and we'll see where we go from there. So we're going to go up here and go File, New Project. Now, there's two different things. You can go New Scene, which will create a new scene like this. It'll be empty in this project, so we'll still have all this stuff. We don't want this stuff because, well, we're not going to use this stuff. So we're going to go File, New Project. Now, you're going to get a direct. You're going to choose your directory. I'm just going to quickly set mine to the place I put mine. I have a particular folder for these things. I'm going to call mine tutorial, and then we're going to pick the packages we want. Now, packages are like pre-made things you can add. At the moment, we only have standard assets. I also have pro standard assets there. You won't have that if you don't have pro, but we won't really need this, so I'll just uncheck that. That's pretty much all we're going to need because we're going to make all our scripts and stuff. So we create. I'll just save the bootcamp project, so it'll import our assets. Okay, so we end up with nothing. We have nothing in our scene except for the main camera. Then we have our standard assets with all this stuff in it. So let's get started. To start off with, we're going to want something for the player to stand on. So we're going to go up here and go Game Object. Now, Game Object is pretty much anything in your scene that is like a particle or a camera or text or like a model. Now, these particular ones are like the pre-made default shapes. If you want to model stuff, don't use Unity, because Unity isn't a modeling program, it's a game engine. It has basic shapes. So what I'm doing now is, you'll see we've got our cube in our view. What did I just do there? So you'll see in our world of nothingness, if I hit F and focus on this, we have a cube. Now before it was way over there, and that's because its position was off. Now at the moment it's at 0, 0, 0. Remembering this is the X, Y, and Z axis. It's currently in the center of our scene. Its name is cube. We can change that. So we'll call this one ground, because that's what the player is standing on. And we can alter its rotation in here, and we can alter its scale. Now we can also do that by coming up here and using the move tool. Obviously you can move in all the directions. And you'll see I've got X value now, so I'm just going to put that back to 0. And then we're going to go rotation, so we can add rotation. And you'll see over there it's changing the rotation of the X, Y, and Z. And we can also scale uniformly, or we can scale each one individually. So what we're going to want is just quickly reset all these. Whoops. That shouldn't be 0, there should be 1. So on the X, we wanted about, I don't know, 30. That's pretty big. So now we have something for our player to scroll along. So we'll move the camera. So the position of the camera, we'll move it up a little bit. And that should do there. So that the floor is a decent distance from the bottom of the actual screen. So now we're going to go add a light. Now there's a couple kind of lights. There's point light, spotlight, and directional light. Pretty much the differences: a point light goes in every direction, a spotlight goes in one direction, and anything outside of the cone isn't lit, and directional light lights everything in one direction. So we're just going to add a point light. And we'll position it over near the camera, pretty much on the camera. Now, a new thing in Unity 3 is that we can change the effect radius like this with like the handle of the sphere thing around it. No, before, you used to just go range, but we can still go range and go like that. So it's range is 20. So that's pretty much our scene set up as far as we're going to want it from the foreseeable future. So now we're going to get into the player.